today I'm playing 4 different flight simulators, but each time we play one, it progressively gets better. So as you all know, there's many Roblox flight simulators on Roblox, and some of them can be really good and some of them can be absolutely garbage.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Like Aerofly Simulator, whatever the heck it's called. This is pixelated planes. We're not in 2010. So today we're going to be reviewing some flight simulators, and make sure you hit the like and subscribe button because I'm on my way to hitting 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much and enjoy the video. Alright, so our first game is called Pilot Training Flight Simulator. Let's start with this game. We have already reviewed it, so we're just going to go over how the game feels, how the game performs, and that's it. Alright, so here's the main menu of PTFS, or Pilot Training Flight Simulator, however you want to call it. Let's click play. Greater Rockford in the main airport, and what we have here is actually... See, it doesn't look the best, but it doesn't look terrible like some other flight sims we're going to play in this video. So far it looks really nice, but let's fly a plane and let's see if anything has changed. And as we all know, the selection of aircraft is great, but some of it is... But for today, I'm going to get in the DHC-6 Twin Otter. And let's just go with a regular one. Spawn in. And I'm not gonna bother taking off from a actual runway. I'm probably just gonna take off from the taxiway because obviously we already know how this game feels. So the cockpit does not look good at all, but when we take off, the physics feel great, and actually if you press C, you can get more advanced controls that make the plane a little more sensitive. And there's no landing gear on this plane, obviously. And as we all know, this game is pretty good for a starter flight simulator. So let's just get into the next one, because some of these are not going to be the best. So let's get into the next one. Here we have Project Flight, our next flight simulator. And you might be wondering, well, why is this the second one if this is not worse than PTFS? Well, because it has one less percentage than PTFS, so this is lower. So let's immediately go into the game. We're going to do the same thing with PTFS. We're just going to take off from the taxiway, see how the controls feel, and that's it. And we're going to move on to the last two, which I've never played before. Let's go. Alright, so here's the main menu for Project Flight. Pretty decent selection of different options to choose from, like air traffic control and fly now. Then ground crew is apparently coming soon. It's been like this for like a year now. And also career mode is coming soon. But we're doing free flight today to see how it feels. Alright, we're in the selection of aircraft section, and we are going to select an aircraft from this page right here. I think I'm going to select a Boeing 757, which actually, let it load. If we go into free cam, this one actually looks really, really nice. Like, for Roblox flight sim, I'm not expecting a lot. For a flight simulator that's literally in Roblox, this is not bad at all. I actually really like this. Alright, now we get to select an engine. Alright, now we get to select an engine here. I'm gonna go with the Pratt & Whitney 2000, if that's what it is. Alright, next we get to choose delivery. I like Delta Airlines, so we're gonna go with Delta. Alright, we selected our airport. Now we get to select a gate. Gonna go with gate 1. Alright, so we are in right here, and obviously we all know the textures are pretty good. If you zoom in really closely, you can see that obviously they are pixelated kind of, but overall, if you just look far from them, it's like it looks like a realistic plane. Obviously, we're gonna start up our engines, and we're just gonna take off from the taxiway. Alright, so we are pushing back right here, and the physics, obviously, they feel amazing, so we're just gonna go full throttle until the engines start up. Alright, right now, I'm taking off in our Delta 757, and the graphics, obviously, they look very nice, especially for Project Flight. So we're just gonna take off right here, 130 knots, and obviously, we got gear animation. This is like one of the only flight simulators that have gear animations. So I really like this. But anyways, we know how Project Flight feels. Now we are going to get into the last two flight simulators that are apparently supposed to be terrible. And the last one is going to be the worst one out of all of them. So I'm not ready for this. Without further ado, let's move on to our next flight simulator, which is going to be Flight Master. Let's go. Alright, and here we have our next flight simulator called Flight Master. This is by Octagaming 987. Let's get into the game. And remember, we are getting progressively worse. So this is 69% rating, and we're going to see how this is. Alright, here's the main menu, where we have an option of Fly Now, Air Traffic Control, or Map Editor. But for today, we are going to be doing Fly. Alright, we have a selection of aircraft here. I'm going to go with the 737. And once we click next, we can choose a livery. There's a decent selection of liveries actually here. I was not expecting this many. I'm going to go with Southwest. Looks really nice. Alright, we get to choose an airport. I'm going to go with Hamilton Island Airport. Let's go. Alright, here we are in our 737. And if we go into free cam, wait, I can't beat that. Alright, anyways, if you look here, I actually think that might be a little bit of a Project Flight, but we're gonna find out. Alright, so let's start up our engines. And do we have a spin on them? Yes, we do. That's really nice, actually. Alright, so once we've done that, we're going to... Oh, the controls actually feel really nice in this. I actually like this more than Project Flight. Because this is a flight simulator we've never played before, I'm just going to actually take off from a runway instead of just a taxiway. Okay, let's take off from whatever runway this is. Let's go. Alright, so far the controls feel really nice. Now the main question here is, does this have animated landing? That's my question. Alright, we're at 100 knots. Approaching the end of the runway, we're taking off right here. It doesn't have animated landing gear. Wow, that's nice. Okay, let's see the different views that it has. First, we have a cockpit view. Okay, this cockpit does not look nice. Oh my gosh. None of the things are interactable, and we just crashed. Okay. What the heck? What the heck? Where are we? We can still go back up. Okay, I can see why this flight simulator has a rating of 169. This is not. Besides, like, everything else, this is not bad. But, like, what? Oh my god. There's a lot of work that needs to be done in this. Well, with that being said, we just did our third to last flight simulator. Now we have to go on to the absolute worst flight simulator. I'm a little scared, but I think we're gonna be okay. Let's go. And finally, the moment you have all been waiting for, the worst flight simulator, close, but probably the worst, AeroWorks Flight Simulator. And this got a new update, AeroWorks Flight Simulator 2, but we're not doing that, we're doing the original. Okay, here we go, the worst rated flight simulator on Roblox. We are going to see how this actually is, okay, in development, okay. So, here is what it looks like. And there's no gates. That is not good so far. Okay, let's spawn a plane. What planes do we have? What is this? I know that's an Airbus Beluga, but that is not an Airbus Beluga. That's a pixelated Airbus Beluga. Oh my god, this thing is massive. Okay, enter Beluga XL. How do you even turn the plane around? Oh, here's the rudder. Okay, let's take off here. Okay, here's the gates. So far, I'm not impressed. Okay, here we're taking off. There's like, is there any no gear? Oh my god. The controls? Oh my god, what are we doing right now? I'm supposed to be turning? What are you turning? I see why this is the worst flight simulator in all of Roblox. This is... I don't know what this is. Okay, well... This is not good. Let me jump out. Oh, shoot. Goodbye, Airbus Beluga. Okay, is there any crash physics? Oh wait, I think you can turn on crash physics. That was fun. MV11. Okay, this is gonna take a long time to get down. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna see how the crash physics work. Controls, crash on. So let's take off here on the MD-11. I can see why this is not a flight simulator. It's not. I don't recommend you buying this game. There's nothing to buy. Okay, taking off. No animations. Now let's just go really high, to like 2,000 feet. Let's just jump out of it. Alright, we're at 2,000 feet. Let's jump out. Oh. Bro, there ain't even crash physics. It didn't even do anything.
I thought there was gonna be like crash physics, but there's literally nothing. Aw, come on!
Well, as you can see, some of these flight simulators are great and some of these are not good. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe. And I hope I can see you in the next video. Bye!